Series on Money9. Well, last year, the online gaming community in India was abuzz with PUBG being the default game of choice for millions of Indians. Well, there was a party spoiler for them with the government banning the game in India in September 2020. And coincidentally or not, Vishal Gondal announced the name of a similar sounding name of 4G, a made in India game. Well, Made in India 4G launched on 26th of January this year, but unfortunately, ratings are not doing too well for the game right now. Vishal Gondal is here with us. Hi, Vishal. Are you disappointed with the reviews you are receiving on Play Store for 4G?
Gaming, we look forward to the reviews because the way games work is you release a game as version 1, you get the consumer feedback, and then you update it with 1.1, version 2, version 3. And that's how the games evolve. So PUBG has possibly evolved over 5 years, Call of Duty. So that's how the gaming actually works with active participation from the community. And similarly, we did expect a lot of feedback from the gamers in India. And 4G launched with being number one. In fact, for the first few days, our rating was close to 4.5. But now, what has really happened is a lot of our rating is people's anger around the PUBG ban. And a lot of the PUBG fans are coming and voting us one down. So while I said we are absolutely okay with people's criticism, suggestions, and features what they want, but our request to people is that just don't come and downrate us because you are unhappy about something else.
You set the wrong expectation. Do you think people expected another PUBG to be launched and what they got in return was something different?
No, actually, we have been very clear from the date of announcement that 4G is a game centered around the Indian soldier. We are talking about Indian themes, Indian situations. And if you see the Galwan Valley War, which happened between India and China, there was no weapons. So one of the reasons why the level does not have weapons is because in the actual scenario which we got inspired from, the soldiers actually had hand to hand fight and fights with all these made up weapons. So that's how the game was designed. But interestingly, the number one feedback we have received from people is that they want guns and they want multiplayer. And all I can say is that that is definitely part of our roadmap. We did announce that we'll be launching the TDM mode as
Right.
well as the Battle Royale mode. The only difference is in a game, you don't launch everything on day one. It's not like a movie that you make a movie and release everything on day one. That is how movies work. In the gaming world, we launch things in stages and stabilize the system. And all I can tell is that we have heard everybody's feedback, and our team is working very hard at hopefully launching the TDM mode very soon.
So you also launched the game internationally now. What is the kind of review that you're expecting from there? Because if the game is set in the Indian context, do you think the international audience is going to appreciate the nuances?
So clearly, gaming is a global phenomenon, right? The fact that foreign games like PUBG, Fortnite can do well in India. Similarly, there is no reason why Indian games cannot do well in other markets. Having said that, clearly, we have identified the market expectation and everybody's expectation around introducing multiplayer modes, guns, etc. So before we promote the game to international markets, while it is available, we have not really done any major marketing outside of India. We will be doing that post the launch of our other modes.
Right. So, taking a slightly macro view on the gaming industry, do you think India, both at the developers end and the consumers end, is now sort of evolving as a gaming community, as a gaming society? And at some level, is there confusion between gaming and gambling?
So clearly, right, India is one of the largest markets for gaming from a number of people users perspective. PUBG had hundreds of millions of users playing PUBG, and so are other games. But the problem has been, if you look at the top 50 games in India, with an exception of one game which is Ludo King, all the other games have been from foreign countries, and none of the Indian games have made it. But at the other end, if you see what game developers in India have invested in, is games like Teen Patti, Rummy, real money gaming, fantasy gaming, which is nothing but gambling, just presented in a different form, calling it skill gaming. And I know there is a lot of confusion around it. I have been pretty vocal in calling out these companies that they are trying to basically promote gambling under the garb of gaming. This is not gaming. World over, uh, well, this is an industry, so government needs to recognize it separately, regulate it separately, and make sure that kids and youth are prevented from accessing such games and getting addicted to it, which causes both financial loss as well as many suicides. So clearly,
In fact, you've
there.
been a great advocate of the regulation coming into the gambling industry, the gaming called gaming industry, and the loss of money as well as loss of life has been fairly rampant. Where are we stuck on the regulation front? What needs to be done?
So I would say part of the problem was that these companies were getting a walkover. There was nobody objecting to it in the first place. There were very few voices coming and even saying that this is wrong. I think today the good news is a lot of the gaming industry have come together. The esports industry has come together because suddenly people are calling playing rummy and playing fantasy game as esports. They are not esports. There are well recognized esports in the country. So I think this requires active involvement of the media, of journalists, of citizens who care, because this is very very terrible for the future of our youth. And trying to get this mainstream with celebrities endorsing and television ads and full page print ads is certainly not good.
Right. So, talking specifically about Encore, the studio that you are a strategic advisor to, what are the plans for the esports category of gaming?
So esports is developed when you first create a community and have multiplayer where people can compete with each other. So clearly in our roadmap, we have the multiplayer modes coming up, both the team deathmatch TDM mode as well as battle royale mode. So we are hoping that by the end of this year, as we roll out these games, already there is a very huge 4G community. If you go to YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, there are thousands and thousands of PUBG, 4G fans, and there are PUBG fans who are fighting with us. That's a different thing. But clearly, we do believe that people are going to enjoy esports on 4G.
Right. Okay, Vishal, at this point, let's do a quick rapid fire round with you if you're ready.
Always.
Okay, so your favorite, and you can't name 4G, your favorite battle game.
I am a big fan of Fortnite.
Okay. What's your favorite online board game?
Chess.
Okay. Your favorite word game?
Actually, we made a very interesting word game in India Games, which we had launched, which did really well. But if you ask me currently, what is the word game I play? It was a game called Words with Friends.
Okay. Your favorite esports game?
Uh, I started playing Counter Strike. Counter Strike was what I played originally. Uh, Off late, I've been playing a lot of FIFA. We just got the PlayStation 5. Me and I have two boys who are also very much into gaming. So I would say I'm much more on the FIFA side. I can't compete with the youngsters with their agility on Fortnite and Valorant and games like that.
Right. And one game that disappointed you the most?
Actually, games don't disappoint me, right? I mean, the like I said, no, I am a game developer, right? I programmed my first game when I was 16 years old, so I know that games can only get better. But of course, when you play a game, for example, in fact, I have this game right now over here. I've been playing Demon Souls. This is on the PlayStation 5, and
Right.
let's put it this way: the graphics are out of the world, the whole gameplay is good, but I expected a lot more. It just looks like you are in an interactive movie right now. So
Right.
what has happened is with such high graphics and resolution, they are focusing more on that end rather than the gameplay and entertainment end. So I've been a little disappointed with Demon Souls.
Okay, sure. And one final question. Your favorite childhood online game or childhood video game?
Well, I grew up playing the Nintendo Game Boy. So, I've been playing all kinds of Mario. So, of course, has been one of my favorite games, and Mario is my all-time favorite gaming character too.
Great. Vishal Gondal, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us on Game On. And do join us regularly on Money9. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kartik.
That's a wrap. Goodbye.